This video, we're gonna talk about how to reveal um, a person, a specific person or twin flame or whatever title you want to put it. Same thing. Titles don't matter, right? How to reveal them when we do not have a relationship, when we have a situationship, or we could call that limerence. We could call that our reenactment of our abandonment wound. So we could call it fantasy world, when we are stuck in a fantasy with a person and we're not having the relationship we want. So it's more in our head, it's more of a potential, it's more of something in the future but never really happens. What do we need to do to reveal them, to see if this person is for us or not? Is it the person that, we actually will end up in a relationship, real one, or not? So stay tuned because we're going to talk a lot about this, and we're going to reveal all the detailed steps you can take to help you shift and move from where you are waiting right now and stuck and in freeze mode, in waiting mode for this specific person. Nothing's really happening. It could be years, it could be months. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to talk about this. So my name is Maro, and I'm the founder of Awakening Games. And my method is basically an approach that we titrate, which means, what does titration mean? It means it helps us embody the presence and the safety we need by also emotionally simulating the worst case scenarios of presence of pain and absence of love. And by doing this, we could heal our trauma, we can heal our nervous system, we can actually let go of attachment, we can let go of suffering and shift from survival to growth mindset. So if you're interested in my method, do reach out to me, do find me on social media, like, subscribe, and share, and do comment below if you want specific things that you would prefer I talk about. So back to our video. So let's go and talk about why we tend to obsess, fantasize, and it could be for either attachment. So we have the three insecure ones. It's fearful avoidant, which has both the, attaching, that has the anxious attachment, and the dismissive avoidant sides. So it pushes away pain, that's dismissive, right? I push away pain, I push away the negative, and the anxious part is I run after love, I run after the positive. So the anxious attachers are looking for love on the outer world, on the outside, and the dismissive avoidance and the fearful avoidance, of course, on the dismissive side, right? They push away pain and so the fearful avoidant has both. It's, I'm a fearful avoidant, recovering. We tend to run after love, right? And we tend to push away pain. So why do we get stuck in limerence, and how does it happen, and how can we start shifting this? So the reason why we would do it is maybe we have been hurt in the past. Maybe, whatever happened in the past was never properly felt through, was not healed, right? Maybe we had very traumatic experiences in relationships or in life, right? Maybe we had traumatic experiences in childhood, and this could have been related to our caregivers or not. But somewhere inside of us, we actually adopted a belief that love isn't safe, and we could lose it or it could bring pain. So relationships are not safe. So if we are limerent or attached or fantasizing about a specific person or twin flame, for all you guys that love this title, which I love all, because it helps us become more holistic in our approach, not becoming like very narrow-minded, using one specific title. At the end of the day, if we're attached to a specific person, what we are trying, like on the outer world, we're thinking that we're wanting a relationship. From the inner world, what's really happening is we are trying desperately to heal the wound. The wound that once it's healed, we can actually have a real relationship. Now, the reason why we can get forgotten in this state for a long time is because we are unwilling to go through the growth process. Because by growing, we are actually risking to lose this specific person. And the funny thing is, we're risking to lose them the way they are, unavailable. And hopefully, maybe they will become available, or they will move aside by growing, right? By actually doing the work, or they will move aside and somebody will come in their place, but being present in our lives, being here. So actually it's kind of a mind, I don't want to say the word, because what we're trying to not lose, what we're just desperately trying to attach ourselves, is the very thing that we're not wanting, an unavailable relationship. But the only reason why we're attached to it and we don't want to let it go is because we think that if we let it go, we will experience intense pain and fear and abandonment and rejection. So look at this now. We get stuck like this in suffering, which is very painful. The other one is actually pain. So getting stuck in survival is the survival mindset, which we get stuck in. And this, what limerence is, an obsession fantasy. It's actually time is going by, nothing's really happening in the real world. So it's frozen. We're kind of like frozen, and we're like just, in one specific, like as if somebody took a picture of us and we're just stuck in time, and then just time is passing by, but there's nothing really happening in the real world. And this is because we're not grounded in our bodies. So if what we're experiencing in our head is not happening in real life, it's because we are not grounding. We are not doing the inner work, or if we are, we're just needing more time to do more work to heal our inner child so we can feel safe within our bodies. Because when we feel safe within our body, then our outer world cannot show us anything different. When we are feeling unsafe within our body to have and cultivate a relationship with ourselves, then our outer reality will mirror this back by showing unavailable people to us, right? Projecting back or revealing to us unavailable people, people that are only long distance, and there's always an excuse. Maybe they're married, maybe we call them different things. Maybe we use the excuse of the twin flame narrative so that way we could get, we feel this exclusivity, this, that we're doing something right in whatever is actually hurting us, because we want to kind of excuse ourselves in whatever it is that we're actually wanting to change. So there's one part of us that wants to change this, and there's another part of us that is actually trying to survive what happened in the past. So what is happening now is we're trying to survive what happened in the past. And the only way to shift this whole thing around is to actually titrate and bring in small doses of negative thoughts, emotions, and feelings by being present within our body, to actually allow the loss of love, the loss of this relationship that never happened and never will, right? That's the worst case scenario. And the presence of pain, the presence of this person being here, but actually not caring about us, not wanting us, or talking, not keeping their promises. So their presence, the person that's somehow in our lives, is actually bringing pain to us, giving us pain in different ways. Maybe they don't keep their word. They say things they never do. Maybe they tell us that, I don't want a relationship. That's painful. So that's presence of pain. So we need to titrate in the worst case scenarios by also feeling the presence within our body, to feel the safety within our body. And then what we can do by actually healing through our attachment wounds, we are healing our limerent wound. Because to be limerent means to actually be expecting the savior to come on our outer world, actually putting a person on a pedestal because we actually have been hurt so many times before. And the only way somebody could be perfect is if they're never in our lives. That's the only person that cannot hurt us. So for those avoidance, limerence actually works for never getting pain. So we deify people, right? Because that way we could make them perfect because they're the ones that never hurt us, but they're never really here either. And then for those anxious parts of fearful avoidance, but also anxious attachers, love is just, something so perfect, because that person gives us some sort of reassurance or some sort of breadcrumbing would say. In that moment, it feels like so much love, because we have left ourselves being hungry from our own source. So in order to heal this, we would need to allow triggers to come in and feel through them. and allow the sense of loss of love so we can learn how to give ourselves love. And as long as we're focused on being present within our body by bringing these worst case scenarios, emotionally simulating them actually, recreating them so that we can actually ground ourselves in reality, that's the way we could actually heal obsession, heal fantasy, heal relationships that aren't working. Maybe we do have a real relationship, but it's actually very, very, I don't know, traumatic, toxic, more titles, you see, all describing the same things. Those basically are relationships that both people do not know how to grow through adversity, through rupture, they haven't healed their nervous system, they haven't done the work to do it. And it's okay, this could trigger you. I have been there. I am still like learning and growing. There's nothing wrong with it. I know it may hurt because these are the fundamentals of being human, and we could have been taught that from our society, our caregivers, but we weren't. And the thing is, we weren't, but we could do something now. We could do something about it. And so to actually, decide to heal limerence or codependency or the abandonment wound or the unavailability that we experience with others, but within ourselves as well, right? Because if we attract it, we also are unavailable to parts of ourselves. The way to do it is to make first a decision that I want to experience a real relationship. That needs to be the number one. It could not the person, the specific person, or the twin flame, or whatever we're attached to, cannot be more important than our decision of what we're wanting that's real in our lives. Because if it is, then we're not going to be able to experience, materialize, manifest, assume the wish fulfilled. We will not be able to, we don't have the space, the vibrational space, the energetic space, the capacity, the emotional capacity to actually reveal this relationship for ourselves. So what we need to do, number one, is first choose what we want and make it more important. And this can only happen once we start doing the work and healing from trauma and whatever wounds we have, and beliefs, shifting beliefs, right? And then the second thing is to choose to feel whatever comes up every day by being real, being authentic, saying the truth to ourselves that right now I'm not in a relationship, or I'm in one, or I'm in a connection that is not realized. It's nothing. I'm being breadcrumbed, for example, okay? And then to actually allow, with all these realities, the truth, that even if it's painful, it's actually going to heal. It's going to help us heal through the limerence, right? And actually create growth through this process. So the first part is make the choice that what it is we want is more important than what it is we have. Second is to allow to feel the reality of what's happening now. That we are maybe lonely, maybe emotions of loneliness are going to come up, scenarios and thoughts that I'll never be in a relationship, or I'll never find a person that I can connect to. And allow to feel whatever has been suppressed within our body. So these emotions and feelings that are going to come up, once we allow the space for them, and we help this process by allowing our mind to, instead of see them as something to protect ourselves from, and we would want our mind to say, this is exactly what I want right now, what I feel, okay, what's happening within my body. So once you allow your mind to also support you with this, in this process of the body feeling through whatever needs to be felt, we are actually taking back the power that we have given away from, when we were really young. And we are remembering how it is to grow and also love ourselves, because this is it. If we are growing and loving ourselves, if we have the right tools to know how to do both, then this is actually what's going to get us to the finish line of where limerence, obsession, attachment wounds, or core wounds in relationships are healed to an extent that we are able now to allow another person that actually wants to do this journey with us together. So I think this video is getting quite long. I'm going to stop it right here. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and let me know if you found value within this video. And if you want more content on specific person, limerents, attachment wounds, twin flames, nervous system regulation, please let me know. Or fearful avoidance, dismissive or anxious, whatever it is, let me know. I am happy to create content for you.